Hello, my loves. I want to talk with you today about intimacy, our level of consciousness, and love relationships in regards to our belief systems. I had a very deep conversation with a client of mine a few days ago and then with a friend of mine just this morning. She was very let down by another love disappointment. And because she's having those for the past years very regularly, and almost with every man that she meets, her core belief started to be that all the men are the same. That's why I don't trust anyone, because it always turns out to be this way. And it is so easy to fall in this trap. It is so easy to start believing something negatively because experiences showed it to us, right? So we can say, well, we have these reference points. Of course I believe that. But on the other side, it is also a big part of us, a big part of our consciousness that has not yet really understood what love and real intimacy is all about. And one of the main reasons for that is that we struggle to really love ourselves in the first place. What tends to happen for most of us is when we really like somebody, we put them on a pedestal. So they're somewhere up here and we see ourselves somewhere here. So we look up to them wanting something, having a certain need that we want to be met, having a certain expectation and attachment. And if this doesn't work out the way we want, the first thing we do is we turn inwards and we ask ourselves, what did I do wrong? Why, for example, did they choose someone else? Or why didn't they choose me in the first place? And my question always is, did you choose you in the first place? Because if you would, they wouldn't be here and you here, you would be here. We are running a lot of negative belief systems when it comes to romance. And I'm sure all of you know about the law of attraction. Now, before and underlining the law of attraction, its foundation is the law of vibration. Our beliefs are emitting our core frequency, our core vibration. And you have to ask yourself, what is my core vibration when it comes to intimacy? And I'll give you an example with me. For years, I was blocked off of love. All the while, it was the one thing I was actually looking for and seeking, to have a companionship and a real partner in my life. And we can build a life together. But I had so many underlying beliefs running the show that all I was attracting were actually men showing me that. And I had a session, a soul reading session last year, and she was going with me through some limiting beliefs that she picked up on from my vibration. Now, those that she said all resonated, some more and some less. The ones that resonated more with me on a conscious level, because I'm consciously aware of them, weren't really that strong. So when we worked through them, my release was actually very easy, and my resistance to it wasn't there. Now, there was one belief that when she mentioned it, didn't do anything to me, and I thought like, okay, whatever. But when we worked through it, it was the hardest, the one I released the most, and I cried the most. And that one was that love is dangerous. Now, when we say that, consciously, of course, we don't believe it, because we are seeking love, we are seeking intimacy. So we would consciously never seek something that is dangerous, right? But if it's a core belief subconsciously, it is there, and it will control everything you do, and also the people you attract. So when you say you're looking for a partner, you're looking for someone in your life that you want to have that deep soul bond with, what you're actually seeking is love. But by seeking love, we forget that we are love. And all of those concepts are out there. But you see, I'm not wanting to give you concepts. I'm not wanting to give you another law of attraction affirmation, because there's so many. What I want to help you with in this video is to raise your consciousness, raise your level of awareness. Step out of this duality and polarity mindset that destroys so many of us. What those law of attraction teachers often don't tell you is that you cannot attract what you want if there is an underlying limiting belief stopping you or a distorted sense of self running your life. Because these vibrations are way stronger than your actual desire. That's why working with consciousness and awareness and bringing this unconscious, the subconscious, to the conscious is the key. And this is what happened with me when I gave you the example of love is dangerous. Because when I had this belief, this is what I was attracting. Partners who show me, here you go, love is dangerous. And when we work on ourselves, when we do really the cleaning up that we need to do, when we heal our inner child wounds, when we work through our wound of abandonment and our attachment styles in relationships, and when we become really aware of who we are, it doesn't mean you will straight away call in the person that you want in your life and that you can be with. But what it does, it creates a different state of being. It gives you inner peace. Gives you that clarity, that sense of purpose and fulfillment first. We are powerful creators. But where do you think is our power coming from? Through our connection to the divine. Because from here, from our soul frequency, there is a direct line going up to the Creator, to God, to the universe, whatever you want to call it. And that's the only place you can truly have a clear channel and a clear communication. You have to imagine it would be as if you want to call Susan, but instead of calling Susan, you call Anna and ask Anna to connect you with Susan. This is not a direct connection. This is what you do when you let your ego interfere. Now, ego is not a bad thing, okay? It has its purpose. It's there to protect us from many things, but at the same time, it distorts a lot of what our soul knows, because it keeps you in a survival mechanism, in a self-sabotaging mechanism. We often believe that we protect ourselves from things, all the while we are just sabotaging ourselves. When you realize that there is nobody else like you, and hear me out in this because this is really important. So many of my clients, my friends, and I was there before myself years ago. When someone chooses someone else over you, okay? Or when they just don't choose you at all, regardless whether they are with someone else or not. The first thing we do is we look inside and we wonder, we question, we do. You need to understand that nobody is like you. Maybe other people can look similarly to you. Maybe they can act similarly, have same interests, same hobbies, same body shape, same features, all of this. But at your core frequency, nobody is like you, because you are unique, and that's what I'm always saying. We might all be the same, but we are not all equal, and that's a good thing. Otherwise, we would all be created as lemmings, as robots. Because you are you. And nobody can be you. Do you understand that there is no competition? Because if someone else chooses another person that is another person, or they just don't choose you at all, how can you compete with that? It's like an apple wants to compete with a pear. It cannot. It simply cannot. And once you really embody this and feel this and understand this in your core, there's so much peace. There's absolute sense of peace. It doesn't mean that things will still not maybe hurt you, that you still might not feel rejected, but the way you deal with it is different. And I want you to really allow yourself to feel everything fully in your heart, in your soul. Feeling is true healing. So when you allow yourself to feel, what you do is you give yourself permission to hear yourself out. But you have to do that from a different consciousness level. So when you understand your core beliefs about, let's use intimacy and love because it's the topic of this video. If they are negative, and you know that by what? the first things you speak out loud, the first things you think when things go wrong or when you get scared because something gets too close, that's your core belief. But if you are at ease and you're going with the flow and you're allowing yourself to be not attached to a certain outcome, not having a certain expectation, and you're just seeing where things can go, this is where you free yourself, and it's very hard for humans to do. Because we have been so programmed to set our goals, to go after them, and to make things happen that we forget the component that things will happen in divine time. I don't care how much we are powerful creators, remember where your power is coming from. So when you operate out of your soul frequency, then you're actually co-creating with the divine. Because when you're operating out from here, you feel, you know, it's an inner knowing of what is right for you. It doesn't come from the ego or your distorted sense from self, but it comes from the deep inner knowing. I always say that intuition is one thing, and it's very powerful. But the inner knowing is the highest octave. And it can come to you through hunches, through dreams. It just takes over your state of being. You just know without facts, without proof. And this is your inner power. This is your co-creative ability with the divine, with the direct channel that you are having. Remember? I know this is a very long video, but I really felt such a soul urge to share this with all of you, because I also see the comments on certain posts that I make, especially in regards to relationships. And I want you to know that nobody is good or bad. There is no right man, right woman, wrong woman, bad. This is all duality consciousness. This is polarity, right? We are dividing. I want you to step out of this and raise your consciousness. With raising your consciousness, you're raising your core vibration. Everything is about energy. It's energy alignment. And if someone else doesn't choose you, doesn't want you, if it doesn't work out for whatever reasons, it's not them being bad or good. It's simply your energies aren't aligned. It is difficult. It is complicated. When something flows, you will feel it. It feels easy. It feels flowing. It doesn't feel disruptive. It doesn't feel draining. It feels uplifting. And that's the secret. But all of this starts with you loving yourself first, being able to be truly intimate with yourself as a woman, being connected to your divine feminine. Ladies, womb practices. And I'll do a separate video on Kundalini breathing and on womb practices. Man, your healthy masculine balance, your ability to commit and to go after something in life. You guys have way too many options, way too many choices. Most of you are so confused about what it is that you want. And these are all signs of an unbalanced masculine and feminine. It doesn't mean you're good or bad, or you're wrong or right. It's just the work on your consciousness that needs to be done. It is all about elevating your state of being. And that's where the game changes. So I hope that this message was able to help some of you out there. It really comes from my heart. I've been there. I've done the work. I know what it means to vibrate at a certain vibration and not acknowledging that you are because you want something else and you believe you're right with all your heart, but then understanding no. Because when you're in a different state of being, it's the state of being. It's felt. Your whole aura changes, your whole being changes, your perception changes, ergo your life changes. Sending you all so much love from my side. You're all here on a journey. Be kind to yourself. Much love. Mwah.